there's a lot of developments. Obviously, Santos pissing off right now. We go live to George Santos having a Zoom call with his supporters. Okay, next plan. I just move straight to Wyoming and I'll just play the Harriet character for the next 18 months. And then after that, I'll pull a Michael Dorsey, just Tootsie myself right in front of everyone. And then I'll show those Republicans that they can't take advantage of me. They can't do it. God damn it. Something like that. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. All right. There's a lot to cover today. Where do we even? All right. Let me just run you through it. First of all, here he is, a vision and shit. This is I think this is before the vote this morning. And I think, let's see, was the Greg Kelly one? Yeah, that's the Rick Santorum one. And then, yeah, I think I got that one. Did I? Maybe not. Yeah, hold on. I got to click on this one too. Horror. Oh, wait, I do have that one. Yes, hold on. It was the different name. No, okay. So here we go. Hi. There he is. I mean, if you're going to wear an outfit for your firing, that's the one. And then we go to our dear friends, Dinesh, in a big billowy shirt. I mean, this is borderline pirate shirt. This is what? It's a pirate shirt. Look how droopy the sleeves are. Did he buy that at the Short and Fat shop and just went, this is good for if you've got jowly arms. I don't understand that at all. Like look where the shoulder is. Whose clothing is he wearing? This is a Seinfeld pirate shirt. How did he get my pirate shirt? How is it even possible? And then, of course, well, this is the best part. The title of this one is, and we'll get to this in a minute, Can Multiculturalism Work in America? I'm fairly certain, and it's hard to tell because the video and the collar or whatever, that Debbie from Venezuela, who's married to an Indian man in an old English shirt, is wearing a qipao. She's wearing a Chinese blouse. Can multiculturalism work in America? Okay, they're either stupid or they're fucking with us. And I think they're fucking with us with their stupidness. And of course, it's a meeting of the shitteries here. And then, of course, how Israel controls the U.S. It's nice to know that Lee Camp isn't above blaming the Jews for stuff. The Jews have got their puppet strings. Their puppet strings. Silk is, she looks aggravated. And she is. Silk is pissed off about being targeted by Jack Smith and the Biden regime. She's not being targeted, by the way. I don't know that there's no target. She might be scooped up in some of this stuff for involvement, but I don't know. Maybe they think she's obviously not the brains of the organization. Or the muscle. Could she be the gristle? We'll find out. What about Diamond? Diamond is dead. Rest in peace. Jamie Comer is going to be covering that Biden piece of paper that the suspicious activity report that Greg Kelly was showing yesterday. And anyway, so let's go back to let's start where we start. This dickhead has been expelled. He's no longer in Congress. After they voted him out, he took it on the heel and toe and hopped into an Uber and fucked off, which is what he should have done months ago, but whatever. Now, by the way, starts the T tour, I would argue, is that this dude is going to hang, as his court date approaches, try to get maybe some Republican to intercede on his behalf, although I don't know how this would work. That doesn't mean because it won't work or because it's a stupid idea that this isn't his idea. That's the problem. That's the challenge, I would say, for trying to understand George Santos, the marshmallow. It's hard because you're like, I think I know why he's doing this stupid shit, but it's so stupid, I can't imagine doing it, and yet he's doing it. Is it possible to be this stupid? Here we go. So and of course, let's go first to is he on? Yeah, he's on Greg Kelly. This is before the vote. Greg Kelly had him on. Oh, Lord Almighty. Greg Kelly, the gift that keeps on giving. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Kelly from Newsmax, the most miserable man on the internet. Captain Sad Sack, obviously has the easily confused streak that Bongholio has, but with an extra amount of just angry confusion. Let's do it. Here we go.
In the resolution that the distinguished chairman from Mississippi, Mr. Guest, filed, he states that I engage in sexual misconduct when his...
You think he's saying that just because Matt Gaetz is sitting right there? You think because I thought this is the part where he's like, he's a woman beater. But it's interesting that Matt, I didn't really, because the angle on him was different in the angle that I saw. And, or he said that, maybe he said this repeatedly, which is entirely possible. But it's interesting that he brings up the sexual assault stuff in front of Matt Gaetz as a sort of shot across the bow, like, you don't even have to be found guilty of this shit. They'll get rid of you.
His own report states otherwise. That's just a clear evidence of how this process has been skewed, how this process is sloppy, and how it is contradictory to the core. The fact that in the report, it states that that was not the case, but they still bring it to the floor of the House of Representatives shows you the lack of respect for one's reputation.
For one's reputation. You don't have a reputation, you fuckhead. You don't have one. You do not have a reputation. Well, yes, you don't have a good reputation. You don't have the kind of reputation that can be ruined. Nobody worries about their reputation as being completely full of shit or being a liar, being ruined. If I start being truthful now, what will people say about me? Like, fuck out of here.
Congressman George Santos.
Well, George Santos, if that is his real name.
Santos, Republican of New York, and I looked it up. He's totally right. The resolution does accuse him of engaging in sexual misconduct, but the ethics report that they talked about all day during that hearing, it actually absolves him of sexual misconduct. George Santos.
Fabulous. It absolves him of sexual misconduct. Does it? Does it, or do you think they... well, I don't know. I'll read it. This was his nitpick point on it. And the sexual misconduct part of it is the debate might be about like whether the other person was cool with it, but it's just workplace stuff. And if we bring that up, then we have to absolve him, because if we don't absolve him, we're going to have to go after Matt Gaetz.
Joins us. Welcome back to Newsmax.
Good Lord. What happened? The flagon. The flagon. What the ever-loving hell is with his face right now? Give me 1 second. Yeah, there we go. So, anyways, what are you talking about? I think he looks fabulous.
That was quite a moment. Do you think you changed any minds today?
No.
Well, Greg, it's not about changing minds. It's about stating facts. This process has been absolute.
Yes, and facts would never change a Republican's mind in any circumstance.
Absolutely sloppy, skewed, and a smear. So much so that they...
Sloppy, skewed smears. I put all those S's together. Such a lot of fuss over a couple of extra S's.
Rushed and put it together like a bunch of 4-year-olds, and they didn't have regard for truth or honesty.
Dude, do you really want them to just like, do you really want everybody in the press to relitigate why it was brought up in the fucking first place? And why they let it slide in one report, but they included it in the other? because this is just a stack of the other bullshit that's embarrassing. Because here's the thing. The ethics committee might absolve you of this idea, but your behavior overall that caused it, going, okay, technically this isn't a violation, but it's fucking gross. So they put in all this stuff that you're fucking gross about you, in with all the criminal shit to go, this guy's gotta fucking go. That's why it's in the resolution more than likely.
For transparency, do you know the sexual harassment allegations are very damning for one's life? I've always held myself to a standard where I'd never do something of the sort. And
okay, hold on. We got to dig into this. But he's asking for it. Okay, Santos sexual harassment allegations. Now, George Santos accused of sexual harassment. Let's see. George Santos' aide, who, all right. I know it's this old. Get out of here. George Santos' aide, who alleged sexual harassment, details payments to staffer. Derek Myers, 31, says he sent in at least 7 payments of $150 to a top Santos deputy as part of an effort to get a job in the Republican's office. So he paid some dude to get a job there. A man who was briefly an aide to the New York congressman and fabulous George Santos said he got his job after sending payments to a top deputy of the scandal-embroiled Republican. He told Health Ethics Committee staff on Wednesday that in January he was trying to get a job in Santos's office. He sent at least $750 payments to Vish Burra, its director of operations. Shared the details of his account, blah, blah, blah. Myers said he began sending the money unsolicited because he believed Burra, a right-wing operative, was not getting paid and could not afford food. Myers said he hoped the payments might help secure a job. Burra was a powerful person. I wanted him to advocate him. He is a powerful person that's not being paid. A fabulist, Eileen, is a liar. A person who fabricates stuff all the time. It's a compulsive liar. It's just it's a nicer news way of saying that. Yeah, $750. Burrow is a powerful person. Well, now that he's got $750 in his pocket, absolutely. Burrow, who helped escort Santos away from journalists after his arraignment in federal court in New York last month, declined to comment. Former journalist Myers became a legislative assistant. He was concerned by a background check that showed Myers had been charged with a wiretapping in Ohio after publishing a recording of a trial. In February, Myers said he was ousted after he spurned Santos's sexual advances, alleging the congressman ran his hand along his inner leg and touched his groin. Santos denied the allegation, calling it comical. Why would it be? Okay. The Ethics Committee is investigating several allegations of improper behavior by Santos, who's admitted fabricated last month. They did this on Wednesday. Staffers spent 2 hours questioning Myers about his sexual harassment allegation, his relationship with Burra, and whether he witnessed illegal behavior. He described finding Burra online and then pushing for a job. Myers provided documentation, including emails and texts and receipts showing Venmo payments to Burra. Myers said Burra did not ask for the money, but once requested that he send more pizza, which he took to be a reference to a pizza emoji used in Venmo subject lines. Investors asked Myers about text exchange after he was offered the job. Did you get a payroll yet? No, you didn't have to do anything, man. I'm going to pay you back for sure, Burra replied. Myers acknowledged that he secretly recorded at least one conversation with Santos and shared it with a journalist. He also said he went to the FBI with the intention of being an informant. He decided to speak out after the alleged harassment, he said, after he was forced to leave the job. So that's the allegation. That Santos, I guess, here's the thing. If you're going to spy on your boss and try to sell the tea or go to the cops later, maybe get a better microphone so you'd have to lean so close to him that he thinks you're sexually coming on to him. This is that's the Guardian on that one. I think that's the only one. Here's Fox News's take on it. George Santos, former staffer, accused a congressman of sexual harassment violating pay rules. Said he filed a complaint with the U.S. Capitol Police and the Office of Congressional Ethics. I don't know why they have a picture. Tucker, the left says George Santos is dangerous and has to go. Oh, the left. It's the left, is it? Oh, wait. This article's so old. It's back when Tucker was at Fox. That's hilarious. Invited him home and violated how the congressman touched his groin, invited him home and violated ethics pay rules. So that's the allegation part.
The fact that they exonerate me in the report, but then still bring it to the floor just shows you how.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they exonerate him. It sounds like they couldn't prove it, and it's a he said, she said situation. I guess who he said between him and this other guy, and there's nobody else present, so nobody could verify it. So they let it die. But they believed it was enough that where there was smoke, there was fire about it, and it's the fucking Republicans, and it's their own report.
It's not a matter of truth and justice. It's a matter of having a predetermined smear campaign, no matter what.
So
No matter what. Dude, you do realize they had a shit ton of stuff on you already.
Did say the other day, look, you think the numbers aren't going to go your way, but you were out there, Congressman Gates, Congressman Higgins, they were very effective. I want to
Were they, Greg? What the ever-loving hell, man? What is that?
Congressman Higgins, they were very effective. I want to ask you again.
We should have like a rabble. Is he the fucking Hamburglar? Good Lord.
You're getting your facts out. Are people?
Can he say a sentence without a fucking tongue jab?
Coming up to you and saying, you know what? I may have been wrong about some of this. I think you're getting railroaded here. Something's not.
No, nobody thinks he shouldn't be kicked to the curb for what he fucking did. The only reason these assholes don't want him kicked to the curb is because he hasn't been convicted yet. They think he will be convicted. This one wants him to stay in office until they convict him because he thinks it will be longer than, this time next year for the trial to go through and all that shit. And they can count on his vote because they have a narrow fucking margin. So Higgins doesn't give a rat fuck about the ramifications of the fucking precedent. They need the vote. They have Jesus Christ. Now that he's gone, they have a 3-vote margin, which is, and these guys know they're increasingly, the Freedom Caucus knows they're increasingly just in the minority, a smaller and smaller minority. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is worried that if you can get kicked out for shit you've done without being convicted, he's next. That's it. Both of these assholes have a dog in this fight.
Adding up.
This one wants the dog in the fight to attack more dogs, and this guy is a dog fucker. I'm just going to say it.
Have you heard any of that, or do you think you're actually going to be kicked out?
So, Greg, here's the reality. I'm not campaigning for this, so I'm not talking to people. I'm making them comfortable.
I'm making them comfortable by not talking to them. It's a talent that I have. One of my favorite things to do to make people comfortable and put them at ease is to not be around them. It's something a friend of mine recommended to me a while back. And I was like, oh, you think that'll work? And they were like, yeah, and you can start with me. And I was like, that's sweet. I'm making them comfortable. Wah, wah. By the way, that is not a Snapchat filter or whatever. Like that is a frown for the ages.
I'm not campaigning for this, so I'm not talking to people. I'm making them comfortable. I don't.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm not talking to people. I'm making them comfortable. Yes, you are.
Don't want to put people in uncomfortable situations. The very few people I
now that Myers has left his office
have spoken to have brought up the wow. That's
they bought it up, have they?
The very few people I have spoken to have brought up the.
Notice he says bought instead of brought all the time. I pointed it out yesterday when he was on the floor. This motherfucker can't say brought. He just says bought all the time. It's this like stuck Freudian slip that he just can't get off of.
Wow, that's actually interesting. The fact that it's contradictory in the report to what's actually on the resolution has had some people turn their heads. Like, this is damning stuff. This is life-ruining allegations. And these people who are supposed to be responsible.
These people, his fellow Republicans.
Responsible for ethics have and bear no.
No. The ethics committee apparently found you not guilty or not culpable in it, or didn't find enough evidence to put that in there. It's whoever drafted the fucking resolution that put it in there. I don't want to nitpick on this horseshit, But let's be completely honest. When he's like, these ethicsy people, who says they're full of ethics? The ethics committee did exactly what you're saying. They didn't include it, dumbass. That's the whole fucking point both of you morons are making. The resolution itself had it put in there because it doesn't have to follow the ethics thing. They just fucking hate you. And the Republicans drafted that, stupid. It's like it's a bill. It's a specific resolution. The Democrats didn't write this shit up. The ethics committee was done, by the way, bipartisan, because that's how the committees work. And you might have Democrats to thank for it not making it through because the allegations couldn't be held up. The irony.
Ethics in this process, because look at what they did. So, yeah, people.
They didn't do anything. The ethics committee did exactly what he would want them to do and what apparently he thinks the evidence bears out, which is there's no way to verify it and therefore it shouldn't go through. It's whoever wrote the resolution. This is fucking dumb.
People are pretty pissed off and ticked off because if today it's me, tomorrow it can be them.
Oh, I see. So you were talking to Matt Gaetz, I see.
All right, you did not participate in the ethics process. That's what they said today.
Yeah, well, that's a lifelong thing, though, Greg.
And I don't believe you did testify. At one point, you said you would. Is that because, I think, as Matt Gaetz said, that could complicate your life regarding the federal indictment and other charges? Is that why you did not provide a statement or documents or anything like that?
Yeah. First of all, all right, never mind. I don't even know why I want to get into the nitty gritty of this. It's just stupid. But I just like pointing out that Greg is an idiot. Let's just go with
so
that.
Any attorney would be very smart, and Matt Gaetz, I think, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, of all people, if anybody tells you not to talk to the ethics committee and they know what they're talking about, it's Matt Gaetz.
But here's the two realities of what they're saying.
Yes, and I know what you're thinking. A habitual liar is telling us about two realities.
They're saying I never cooperated. That's false. Most of the documents they have were given to them through me. A lot of the bank records and statements and all of the financial disclosures into my company's profit and loss balance sheets, all of that was given to them from me. I accrued over $200,000 in legal fees throughout this process. For them to say,
yeah, but it wasn't printing documents, dummy.
I didn't cooperate is yet again another lie. They'll continue to say whatever it is they want because this is a predetermined outcome that they've been sawing and looking for all this time.
They've been sawing? Did he mess up sought and seeking?
This is a predetermined outcome that they've been sawing and looking for all this time.
Sowing, maybe? Sawing. Sawing? I don't know.
I didn't go to the committee because they gave me a deadline to be in the committee by the same date that I had to be in court in New York.
So that was the one day?
Guess what? I respect the committee.
But I couldn't go any of the other days because I was getting Botox and I had some staff to allegedly sexual harass and
willing to work with the committee. They said they'd send us a subpoena. I said, all right, send a subpoena. They never sent a subpoena. They wanted me to testify the same day they knew I'd be due in court in New York. So what is...
They don't have to subpoena you for the ethics committee, fuckwad. You're a sitting member of Congress. They don't have to subpoena you for that. It's the oh boy.
It's entrapment. They designed this in some way towards the end to make me fail so that they can have these talking.
They designed this to make me fail so that I would have to give them things that made them see my crimes.
Points.
I want to go to a moment from the congressman from Mississippi. This is B10, purchases of trips. Let's take a look at this.
In addition to these questionable expenses, there were travel expenses, questionable expenses.
Uh-oh. Did he fly down for the white party in Miami?
Involving trips to Atlantic City.
Really? First of all, that's a drive.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, that's worth coming. Come on down. See my girlfriend show Ladylike. Anybody except George Santos.
And the Hamptons.
I just, questionable. You can raise questions, but it's not, is that something you get expelled for?
It's not the trip, you dumb fuck. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, George Santos, who always looks mid-sneeze for some reason, and Greg Kelly, who looks like he's just discovered that that his bait and tackle magazine has a fucking centerfold. Both of these guys, motherfucker, it's not the destination he got in trouble for. He spent campaign funds and other people's money on it. Some of the campaign funds he got by using credit card information from his fellow Republicans. He charged their credit card for donations to his own campaign. Let me say that again. He had access to their credit cards because of fundraising stuff within the community. And he charged their credit cards as contributions to his campaign. And then he spent campaign funds to go to Atlantic City, Las Vegas, and the Hamptons. You dumb son of a bitch. What the fuck do you think he's doing? It's not... we're all going to get thrown out for going to the Hamptons just because I never get invited to the Hamptons because the bus doesn't run there.
They did acknowledge that this is, if you go down, this is unprecedented. No one has been kicked out in your circumstances. We got guys like Menendez still serving in the Senate. They're not clamoring for his expulsion, at least not now.
Everybody is.
And he already stood trial. Anyway, your thoughts?
And he hasn't already stood trial.
Well, here's my thoughts. I was campaigning and raising money across the whole country.
Okay, and that required me to charge my first-class plane tickets to the credit card of some of my fellow Republicans personally.
Just look at where the donations were coming from the entire country. I was traveling on campaign business at all times. I spent very little time with my own family throughout the last 4 years.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, are we sure they weren't paying for the trips then?
Because of this process. So again, he's calling it questionable because, again, I didn't have an opportunity to go there and refute and give them what they wanted to show otherwise. But if they weren't so eager to rush this process and allow it to play out the way it does, I mean, look, there's members of Congress who had investigations open into them in 2017 and just had a resolution in 2022 that resulted in a $50,000 fine, $125,000 FEC fine, and it's over. They move on with their lives, but these things take years. They're trying to draw conclusions in 10 months, 11 months. That just tells you it's not fair, it's not balanced, and it's not due process.
Okay, it's also dozens and dozens of never-ending charges and bullshit.
That's the argument I keep making, and they try to keep defending it, but it's not true. It's out in the open. Look at Congresswoman AOC, for example, on the dress story.
Okay, yeah. So look, some of the campaign...
That's the dress she wore to the Met, is how dare she? Because somebody lent her the dress.
Finance stuff is very technical, but one thing kind of, well, I could follow it. They allege...
Wait a minute. This must be dumb if Greg can follow it.
I guess it's in the ethics report that $200,000 was in your super PAC, Redstone Strategies. They allege that you took that money from the PAC, which wasn't registered, and gave it to or transferred it to your personal account. Is that true?
Look, Greg, I haven't gone through this. I haven't unpacked any of this. Obviously, I have a case with the DOJ. I need to be respectful of the prosecutors and the judge in this case.
That's a yes.
Because for me to come out here and start talking about this, obviously I forego my rights, and I also act.
Yeah, you can't plead the fifth on Greg Kelly's show, I guess is what you're saying?
In bad faith with all these professionals who have been, in my case, I can't say a negative thing about them because it's been in a very cordial, above board process that we've been engaging in. So for me to come on here and start unpacking this, it's a disrespect to the process that they've...
Yeah, it's just, it would be disrespectful for me to refute these allegations and say I'm not a thieving thief.
Allowed me and afforded me.
I get it. A couple of quick things.
No, you don't. You don't know what the fuck he just said, stupid.
Number one, are you enjoying the notoriety? I mean, you're a freshman guy.
Oh, fuck you. Are you enjoying the notoriety? Is this fun? Is this fun? Do you get a better seat on the bus? Are you enjoying the notoriety? Oh my God. And I love that this is Greg trying to be friendly and just Oh, maybe he is. Let's find
Congressman
out.
still, and we see reporters from all over the world following your every move. Have you enjoyed any?
Have you enjoyed any of this, you weird dandy fuck? Also, look at this fucking tongue.
Reporters from all over the world following your every move. Have you
That feels weird just doing it on purpose.
enjoyed any of that? Just a little bit.
No.
Yeah, you little. Aren't you enjoying this? And it wouldn't it be nice? No one follows me around. No one asks me to comment on stuff. I'd love that if they asked me.
No, I mean, look, I enjoy meeting people. I'm a people person.
Yes, he's been multiple people. He's so much of a people person, he considers himself people. He uses they, them pronouns in a non-gendered situation just because he's actually plural. A people person. Shut the fuck up.
Met me, you know, I'm chatty. I like talking to people, but
But except when I would be disrespectful to the people who I've been above board with at the DOJ.
I don't enjoy it. But here's the deal. They did this. The New York Republicans, they did this. They
did this. They elected me. It's their fucking fault. I didn't want to do this. I was busy. I was setting up a business to be a TV psychic and sell timeshares in a pyramid scheme concurrently with my weight loss serum. And they're like, please run for office. And I was like, okay, I don't have enough to do. Let's see.
created this entire fantasy, an obsession, because they just would keep giving it oxygen all throughout the year.
This whole fantasy? What fantasy? You?
Now they want to capitalize off of the notoriety they gave me at all costs, because still till this day, most people in America couldn't point out most of them in a lineup if their lives depended on it. But my name is enshrined forever.
But my name is
in American history.
My name is enshrined in American history. You sure you don't like that? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Also, if they can't wait to capitalize off of you and you're getting all this notoriety and they aren't, then why don't they want to keep you a fucking round so that they can go, hey, I ain't that fucking guy. Look who New York will elect. Can you imagine that, like, if there was any fucking brains in the Republican Party, most of them would want to keep this asshole around simply so they can go, don't fuck him. You think I'm corrupt? I'm not even on the chart with this motherfucker. And look at the big state of New York. Those New Yorkers, man, those elite New Yorkers, they'll elect. Look who they elect. He's right there. Listen to him.
You have acknowledged telling lies. You lied about college. You did that on this show. You said the lie. You went to Baruch because you wouldn't have got the nomination without, having a college degree.
It's not a lie if they make you lie.
I don't think anybody voted for you because you did or did not go to Baruch, by the way.
They couldn't possibly vote for you because you did or didn't. They voted, all of it was on false pretenses.
But I guess it
guess if I really think about maybe
comes down to
come down to what else can I say to this asshole to get me through this segment.
Any regrets in all of this? You must.
And regrets, I've had a few.
Absolutely. Look, Greg,
Absolutely, I regret a lot. I regret coming on this show repeatedly. I regret this tie vest combo.
I didn't have regrets, I'd be an arrogant person and a
Oh, you mean like Donald Trump?
glutton for punishment. If I can
And a glutton for punishment. So you regret being punished.
do a lot, I do a lot different. I'd associate with different people. I'd stay away from some, and I would have just followed different processes and better guidance. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. And I can start by
No, you can't change the future. You can act in the present. And by the way, that's, saying you can change the future is exactly what this motherfucker's talking about. Like, if I get in trouble again, I'll just lie again.
just, acknowledging my
I'll change the past of my future. if that helps.
Mistakes and moving forward with my life.
You know, if you want to be president like Joe Biden someday, you got to start lying a lot more. All right. By my count, he's about 1.5 million lies ahead of you. Look, George Santos, what an interesting spot to be in.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
Good luck.
Good luck with that vote. That I don't know why I'm the only guy having you on to back you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for being with us. The fuck? What do you think? He's busy?
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Greg. You, Greg. Honest to God, I appreciate you, Greg. We all do. Greg, let me tell you something. I appreciate you. My chat appreciates you. And especially the part where you very well may be the dumbest motherfucker working in phony news today. I'm just saying, it's so impressive.